Great. Okay, so for this demonstration today, what we'll be covering is, as Tony said as well, we will start off with a employee self-service portal, so the experience that your customers can provide to their employees within the organization. And then after that, we move over to the back end of the solution, where the actual service desk agents, so the people at the service desk on the IT team, but also at the HR team, any other team within the organization will definitely live in. And from there, they will access the tickets, open up change management, open up the CMDB, and all that kind of good stuff. Okay. For now, we will start at the self-service portal. So this is basically the portal where any employee would go to whenever they have a question for IT, whenever they want to request a certain service from HR or IT or facilities. And on this self-service portal, what we try to do is drive self-help. So we have a big search bar on the homepage, where I can just type anything, like I have an issue with my laptop. And what you will see directly is that I will get some suggestions from the system on what might be the next, the best step for me to take. So either request a service from the service catalog, where I can request a new piece of hardware or request a loan laptop or whatsoever. Or I could go into the knowledge base and actually open up a knowledge article to try to fix my own issue. Of course, if I want to, I can still create a new help desk ticket, which is just a very basic standard ticket that I'm creating there, where I have a subject and description and stuff like that. I could also start a live chat with one of the support agents to see if they can figure out what is the issue instead of raising a new ticket, or can of course also raise a ticket by sending in an email. So there are various ways of getting in touch with the service desk to raise a new ticket. If I just quickly go into the new ticket page, you will see a standard ticket form over here. And again, what we have built in here is issue with my laptop, is some suggestions on the right side. Because what you will see in a lot of organizations is that people, of course, if they have a search on the homepage, that's great. But once they know that there's a new ticket button over here, they will directly hit that button, start and go and create a new ticket. But still, by giving them those suggestions on the new ticket creation page as well, that will help you to drive some self-service, but also help them to get a quicker resolution for their issues. Okay. Now, next to creating a new generic break-fix ticket like I'm doing over here, which can go to the service desk, there are other ways of getting in touch with these service departments as well. And like Tony and I already a couple of times said, it's not just about IT. It's giving that employee a one-stop shop whenever they want to request something from the organization. So either it's a IT related service, like access to an application, a piece of hardware, but it might also be a benefit request that I want to do to the HR team, or maybe I want to change the number of my bank account with the finance team, or whatever kind of service or product that I want to request. I could go into the service catalog, which is the service request page over here, click any kind of department that is providing me that service. So let's say application support department. Over here I can request access to a certain application, request a license, but also request a password reset, for example. Okay. On the hardware category, I could request any kind of standard, like a laptop, a mouse, keyboard, that kind of stuff. But it could also go into the HR team, where I can actually request a new employee onboarding service, like a new hire request. It's a service that comes up in a lot of organizations. When you have a new hire, you have the HR team that needs to do certain steps in that process, like do an approval, create a contract for the employee. What you also see in those processes is that they're cross-departmental. So there's an HR team that needs to do something on that new hire, but there's also the IT team and the finance team who also needs to do some tasks for the new hire. And by using our service catalog within a request in this scenario for HR, whenever I submit that on the back end, a process, a workflow will be triggered. And that workflow will actually make sure that request for a new hire, after it goes to HR, will automatically go to the IT team and to the finance team and so on. Okay. And related to those services, what you will do for the end user is you will build out a form that they need to fill out. So whenever I click the new hire request on the right side of the screen, you'll see the form that I, as an end user, need to fill out whenever I want to request this service. So basically, whenever you hit an organization that has a lot of paper forms in the organization or that are submitting requests through email, you could show them this where they can build out those forms automatically, and based on an end user filling out this form, the agent on the back end will have all of the information he needs to be able to provide the service to the end user. What you'll see in here, it's all related to the new hire. If I would go into the service catalog and start and raise a request for a laptop or so, you will see that it's all related to the laptop. So you can make those forms specific to the service that is being requested. Okay. Of course, on this portal, you will also be able to see some knowledge articles. On my ticket page, you will be able to see any kind of open tickets, and those are tickets that I've submitted through the self-service portal, so through the new ticket page or the service request. But also, if I submit a ticket through email, or if I give the service desk a phone call, any ticket basically that is created related to me as an end user will show up in my ticket page. And I will be able to see the current status, the person who is working on my ticket, and I can see any communication between me and the service desk in there. Okay. If I will be one of the managers within the organization, so let's say I'm a team manager or I'm the HR manager, I don't need access to the back end of the system, but I still need to be able to do some approvals. You can give people access to that on the self-service portal as well. And just for the sake of some knowledge, there's no license that needs to be applied to that user. Like approvers within our solution are free for use. Okay, I will now move over to the back end of the solution to show you a little bit around in the agent experience. Move over there. So now I'm logged in as a service desk agent. And within my environment, I will be able to see all of the different components of our solution. So if you go to the main navigation bar, we'll be able to see the service desk component, which is covering all of the ITIL core processes, basically. So incident management, problem change, release management, our service catalog, our knowledge base, and our CMDB. And our CMDB is mainly being populated based on our inventory management. And inventory management has some computers, network devices, other assets, and like Tony said as well, they can be populated from the other SolarWinds solutions like Orion. We can also have our own discovery solutions to provide discovery for the customers. Okay. And related to those inventory items, what you will be able to do is proper asset management. Within that asset management, you will be able to do contract management. You can relate your POs to it for some financial management related to your assets, and you can manage like the warranty contracts, lease contracts, and stuff like that. Okay, and then related to that, to all of those components, you can run your reporting. You can do some benchmarking to see your like an historical view. How did you improve over time? But also, how do you compare against others in the same segment of your market? Okay, now let's quickly go into the incident overview. So I moved into the incident management view, basically within the service desk. And in here, you will, as an agent, you will be able to see the data that you are allowed to see. So if you're having an HR agent to access the application, you can limit them to only see HR-related requests and tickets. And the same for IT, you can limit them to only see what they should be able to see. Okay, and in here, I can like dive into any ticket by opening them up, but I can also do some quick actions directly from this view. So what I can do is get a quick preview of the actual ticket, of the actual request, and then based on that, do certain actions from here. So I can do a quick update on the status, can reassign the ticket to someone else directly by doing it like over here, reassigning it to myself. And what you'll see is some automation rule applied now where the status has been updated automatically to assigned. Okay, so I can do some quick actions directly from the overview, and of course I can like apply filters to the overview. I can do mass updates, anything basically you would expect to do from such an overview. Okay, what I want to show you guys is from the end user portal, I showed you like our service catalog, raising a request for a new laptop or a new starter within the organization. I've prepared a request for a new hire in our organization, John Doe, to just quickly show you around in some of the key capabilities of our incident management part, but also our service request. So what is the benefit of using a service request instead of an incident? Now, when we're looking at a specific ticket or a request in this scenario, you have a quick action bar on the top where I can quickly change some items if I want to. I have some SLAs running against this ticket, so the service levels that I agreed with my end users, with my employees within the organization, that we always should change the status within 10 minutes in this scenario. And actually, this one is 84 minutes overdue, so I quickly need to take some action on that one. So what I could do is quickly change the status, and that should actually fix this breach over here. It will still like keep that as a history because I want to know which tickets have been breached in the past. So what you'll see in here is that it's marked as a resolved breach now over here. And in my reporting, I will be able to see the time that it has been like over breach. Okay. Now, in addition to like, I will be able to do a lot of manual items in here. So I can do changing of attributes of the ticket. I can post comments and stuff like that. I can also use the system to actually give me some suggestions. What might be the next best step for this specific request? So it might be to relate another, like a similar type of ticket to this ticket. So I see there are a couple of John Doe requests, and the system is suggesting me to relate them to each other. And by relating them, I can then basically do mass communication between all of those related incidents. But also whenever I close one of those incidents down, the system will suggest me to close all of the related items as well. I can also use my knowledge base to either view the knowledge article, and it's suggesting me one specific knowledge article here. I can view the knowledge article and link it to the ticket. I can also directly send that knowledge article to the end user. So by clicking this button, you will see that the content of the knowledge article will be taken as a snapshot and will be pasted into the comment box over here with images, videos, links included. And I can directly now post that to the end user without doing anything manually in here, just hitting the post button basically. Okay. In addition to that, the system is also suggesting me on what assets I might want to relate to this ticket. So we can later on use that as a historical view. How many incidents have been raised against one specific asset? Okay. Now that is all like the key capabilities basically of a bit of incident managing, request managing. Of course, you can apply some, like do some service monitoring in there to see what are the most key important time frames within my ticket, how much times have it been reassigned to others in the team, what was the first response time, but also the resolution time, the closure time, stuff like that. Now, the big difference between a incident that is coming in, so a ticket that is coming in from someone related to break fix or a question, and a service request is that we actually know what this request is about. With a service request, they clicked a service catalog item, they filled out that entire form on the end user portal. So we know what this request is about. So we can also trigger a templated process related to that specific request. In this case, there's a new hire request. So the process tab will show the process for a new hire request. And in here, you can have approvals, you can have tasks, you can have integrations to other systems by doing API calls and so on. And you can have like build in various conditions. So really make it specific to the thing that is being requested. Now in here, you see there's an approval step. Whenever I hit the approve button over here, and I can do that from the app, but also from my mobile phone app, I can do it. I will receive an email where I can hit approve directly from the email. So there are various ways of doing that approval. If I hit it in here, what you will see, it will go on in the process and will trigger the next step to validate the data. And that step, that is a task that will be assigned now to the HR team. Whenever I finish off that task, so let's say HR completed validating the data, you will see that a concurrent group will be triggered where different departments will work at the same time. So like I said before, a new hire request has various departments working on that. So what you'll see in here is that the HR team, the finance team, and the IT team, they will all work at the same time. They will have their own processes. But at the end, whenever they all finish their part of the process, at the end, the service request will be marked as resolved and the process is finished. So quickly show you, whenever I validate this data, you will see that the process will be triggered now and that there are various steps running. So you've seen this one loading over here, the Bamboo HR one. That was actually an API call going to a different system to create the employee in the HR system. So with that, you can automate some work that would normally would have been done manually. That reduces the time that it takes, but it also reduces the manual error that you could have whenever someone creates the account manually. And it can be for like creating a record somewhere, can be creating an account, deploying some software, or doing whatever you would like in there. Okay. What you will see now is that there's a process running for HR over here. Or there's a process for finance where the first step has been triggered, and there's a IT task process as well. Okay, at the end, whenever I complete all of those, you will see that the process has been completed and that the request will be resolved for the end user. Okay. One last item that I want to quickly show you is also a little bit of around our CMDB capabilities. I've shown you that you can relate an asset to a request, like over here, can relate Jamie's MacBook to this request that is coming in. What I could also do is go into the actual CMDB. So when you go to the service desk part, you have your CMDB in there and you can view your configuration items basically. And configuration items can be assets, but also your business services. So let's say you provide an email service to your end users. Someone is reporting an issue with their email. You might want to relate that business service email to that incident that is coming in, because you want to either on one side be able to see what might be the root cause of the issue, but also you want to be able to see what is the impact of the issue that is being generated. So in my scenario, I have a business service open SAP. So different users might be using SAP. So if someone reports an issue with SAP or a change is being applied to SAP, I want to be able to quickly see what is the impact of me performing that update to SAP. Which users are using SAP, so should I notify them? Okay. So what you'll see in reviewing just a generic CI in here, we can put in some information. Who should you contact if there's an issue? And when I look at the right side of the screen, I will see all the relationships to other configuration items in our CMDB. So to assets, could also be users, could also be a database, a data center in this scenario, and you have all those different types that you can relate. And I can see the full history of incidents, problems, and changes that have been raised against this specific business service. Okay. And what I want to see in here is next to looking at this like list view over here, I can go into the visual map, and that allows me to quickly analyze what is the root cause of my issue, but what also might be the impact of my issue. So in here I can see the business service SAP is being used by these computers. If you go over this, you will see it's being used by these computers, and it's being like hosted on, it runs on a data center, and it's consuming or using a database in there. If I then want to analyze what is happening on the database, I can click on the database. That will give me a quick preview of it. But I can also click the plus button over here to actually analyze like where is that database running on, which other computers or users are using that database. So I can basically get a full picture of my infrastructure in here to analyze what is going on and what is the impact of my issue.